Pinchas, I love Pinchas. Pinchas, we finished last week Parsha, that Bilam tried to curse the Jewish people, he blessed us instead. But then he got us. And how did he get us? Tempted us with women. It's a big thing. It's a bad, terrible challenge that most people in their life have. And I was just speaking to one of my students 5 minutes ago. And he said he's become religious now, and before he was religious, he was, Baruch Hashem, successful with women. Baruch Hashem. And so it's very difficult for him now that he's religious, he's trying not to touch women anymore, because he had some experience in that area. He says much harder for him. And how am I going to, I just don't know how to deal with that. And I said to him, the truth is, what used to happen is you used to get with a woman and you'd be like, I am the man. I'm the bomb. And you'd show off to your friends about it and you'd be like, I just go. And you didn't care about the woman at all, really. And you probably hurt her, you broke her heart a bit, and she got, and you're just, I'm the man. So it was all ego. Now, obviously, there was physical pleasure as well. But it was really big ego. I won the chase. I'm the man. But around here, if you do that, you're not the man. You're the little uncontrollable animal. Do you know what makes you the man around here when you have right values? Not doing it. That makes you the man. Self-control, that makes you a man. Saying, I could be with her, I could be with them, but I'm not going to. I'm the man. And if your friends start teasing you and say, oh, you used to be the man, and now you can't, you say to them, no, I can, I did. But now I'm the real man. The real man is the person who has self-control. And when you get married, by the way, because God's going to give you the wife that you deserve. So if you're going to start messing around now and say, you know what, I'm just messing around now, and then, I'll get married, so Hashem will give you the woman who's been messing around until she's ready to get married. You don't want that. So the sweet, beautiful Tehillim saying, amazing, holy woman that you want to marry, you have to be the man that she'd want to marry. You've got to deserve it. So this is how you do it. Whenever you're tempted and you don't do it, then you look in the mirror and say, I'm the man. And you can come up to me and you can show off to me a bit for your ego and say, Rabbi, could have, didn't. And I'll be like, you're the man. Because we have different values here. So if your values are my own physical pleasure over someone else's emotional pain, then that's why you think you're man. But over here, our values are being a tzaddik, and a tzaddik is someone who has self-control. And who cares about other people and doesn't use them for their own physical and ego pleasure. That makes you the man. So you should feel amazing and good about yourself, self-control. So we really have these three areas. Rabbi Nachman speaks about them a lot. Money, food, and physical intimacy. Money, food, physical intimacy that we're very, very drawn to. We have a very big tova for. And we say this in many of our classes, that's why in England, America, the Western world, it's really all about money, food, and physical intimacy. In the Eastern path of spirituality, there is no money, no physical intimacy, very little food. And Judaism says, no, there's a place for food, money, and physical intimacy. Just with the right person, right time, in the right way, for the right thing, as an act of giving, to connect to God, to bring spirituality into the world. That's what we're going to do. But this is how they got us with women. And then once we got women, then we got idol worship. It was a big mess. And then a tribe, head of one of the tribes, he goes and performs this forbidden act in front of everyone. Moshe is like shocked. He's like, I don't know what to do. Pinchas just gets up. He's like, this is not okay. I'm not okay with this. This shouldn't be happening. And he basically takes him out. Bam, psh, in the act. Damn, amazing. And basically this week's Parsha starts with Hashem says, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKayin. Pinchas, Aaron HaKayin's grandson. Elazar's son. Eshivet chamati me'al bnei Israel. He pulled back my anger on the Jewish people who were going crazy. They'd lost all their sense of self, what it means to be a real man. By the way, in your house, you're called the Baal HaBayis, which means basically the master of the house when you get married. And some people think, well, I'm the Baal HaBayis, which means I get my way. Wrong. The real Baal HaBayis is not about me. My wife gets her way. I'm here for my wife. And you can do that from a place of weakness, where like, okay, I'll give you whatever you want. Or you can do that from a place of immense strength, that I'm not so needy, I'm okay. I'm all right. So I'm the Baal Habayis. What does it mean to be the Baal Habayis? That everyone gets their way. Not your children. The children don't get their way. That's not okay, because you know better than the children. Your wife gets her way. That's being a real man. B'kan'a et kinati, and he jealousied my jealousy, which means basically he took revenge on my behalf. He stood up for me. He's like, that's not okay. That's not okay. I'm for Hashem. And we often say this in our classes. You can do a lot for Hashem. Some people will say to you, you can't do anything for Hashem. Hashem's perfect. You just got to be a tzaddik. It's not true. You can stand up for Hashem. Hashem's like, whoa. Hashem loves Pinchas at this point. He's like, dude, you mamish. I don't know if you ever got in a fight. You're with the boys. You're out. You're in a bar. You get in a fight. And you know that best friend who's going to be there for you. You know that if you're in a fight, he's my man. I had a best friend. He should rest in peace, a great man. And I was like, he'll be there for me. I know. He'll die for me. And he said it sometimes. He's like, I'm there for you, man. I'm there for you. I got a better deal because he was huge and ripped. So it was good that he was there for me. Me being there for him, not as cool, but I said, I'm there for you, brother. But I was a little bit scared, to be fair. Before I got to Asia and I did all my martial arts, when I was 18, 19 on the streets of London, I was like, you're my man. You're the bad. So Hashem looks at Pinchas and he's like, you're my bro. This is my bro. He's standing up for me big time. So you want to be Hashem's bro. Bro. I'm your bro, Hashem. You can count on me. And a real bro. Because bros nowadays, you don't have any real friends, most of you. Very, very rarely. Your bros, they're not real friends. They're talking about you behind your back. You're talking about them behind their back. It's not real friendship most of the time.
What makes a real friend?
Someone who truly cares about you, loves you and wants the best for you, and will go out of their way to make that. A friend, the definition of a friend, is someone on your level, someone on your peer group, who honestly cares about you and invests in what's best for you. So if you have an exam the next day, they don't say, come on bro, just let's go clubbing, you'll be okay. That's not a friend. That's an accomplice. Accomplice is a different thing. Let's go and do stuff. Now you can have both. You can have a friend who's an accomplice. That's cool. My boy, Sasha, he was my friend and accomplice. We did good things together. But we're always like, I really care about you. You're like, I could tell lots of stories now, but we put each other first. So Pinchas is Hashem's bro. And then, so Pinchas takes them out and he becomes a Kohen. And then what basically happens is Hashem counts the Jewish people. Hashem says, look, we need to do an accounting of the Jewish people. And the basic reason seems to be that lots of them died in this plague because they were being bad. But this is what Rabbi Nachman says this. Su'ed rosh kol adas b'nei Yisrael. You should uplift the head, i.e. you should count all the Jewish people. Now when it talks about counting the Jewish people in the Torah, it uses this word, su'ed rosh. You should pick up the head of the Jewish people. Uplift someone. This is what a friend is as well. I want to lift you up. Someone who's not a friend is someone who wants to put you down. Someone who's a real friend, not going to roast each other. A real friend, I'm going to put you up. I'm going to bring you up, man. A real friend doesn't celebrate someone else's downfall. They feel bad with them. A real friend wants the best for someone else. A real friend doesn't want the worst for someone else. So, lift up their heads. So we're going to see this idea more now. But when the Jewish people mess up, Hashem counts them, but in a way that's saying, get up, man. It's okay. Everyone messes up. You are cool. We really learned this at the beginning of the Torah. We said last week, week before, some week, Cain and Abel. Cain messed up. Cain gave an offering, but he didn't mean it. Abel gave an offering. Hashem took Abel's offering. Cain gets very upset. Hashem says to Cain, it's okay, man. Just do better next time. Hashem was not angry with Cain. He said just that Cain didn't hear that and then he killed his brother. If Cain could have just heard Hashem saying to him, it's okay, you messed up. People mess up, do better next time. He wouldn't have killed his brother. So you've got to understand, when you make a mistake, get up. It's okay. Your mistake does not define you. How you respond to your mistake defines you. If you make a mistake and then you put yourself down and say, I'm so bad, and you're just going to make more mistakes. Feel bad about your mistake and get up and become a greater person. That's okay. So you're not going to be soft on yourself. If you're soft on yourself, then you won't grow. And you'll make excuses and you'll justify your mistakes. But you're also not going to be hard on yourself. You'll put yourself down, because in that way you also won't grow. There's a middle line called self-compassion, but commitment and growth. I feel bad about what I did, I feel disappointed, but I'm going to get up. Not only am I going to get up, I'm going to get up stronger than I was before. I'm going to become greater. We just had the 17th of Tammuz, where Moshe smashed the luchot. What was so good about smashing the luchot? He got a second luchot, was much higher and holier than the first luchot. We build on this. Zimri limnosas Israel aya kedei leoreh kayach kol nefesh v'nefesh mishishim rabuy nefeshos Israel kedei laamshich b'chinas nekuda tova sheyesh b'chol nefesh v'nefesh Yisrael. Unbelievable. The reason that Hashem says you've got to count the children of Israel straight after this issue with Zimri, Hashem says you've got to count them. The purpose of counting, kedei leoreh koach kol nefesh v'nefesh mishishim rabuy nefeshos, in order to awaken the power of each individual. Basically, you're saying to them, you still count. You are still in the game if you want to be. You can now give up on yourself and you're not in the game anymore. But we say, Ein shum yesh. There is no despair. You're never out the game. In Judaism, you're never out the game. Tattoo a swastika on your face, eat pig on Yom Kippur, you're still not out the game. You can do tshuva. You're still in the game. So the purpose, God counted us and said, you count, you count, you count. You're still important. You messed up big time. You did a terrible thing. A flagrant, blatant, forbidden thing. But you still count. Kedei lahamshich b'chinas nekuda tova sheyesh b'chol nefesh v'nefesh m'Yisrael. In order to bring out the power of the nekuda tova. This is Rabbi Nachman's most famous teaching, is the nekuda tova, which means you all have, it's called a pintalayid. You have a pintalayid inside us, which means you've got this essence of a Jew. You've got your neshama, basically. And no matter how far you think you are, no matter how hard you fall, no matter how high the climb, you can rise above it all. David Bauman, his mother passed away. This class should be Ilui Neshama for his mother. So he's got a beautiful song called Pintaliyid, that's saying it doesn't matter how far you've fallen. It doesn't matter how hard the climb, but you got a Jew in you. So Rabbi Nachman says, find that nekuda tova, which means your good point. No matter how bad you are, you've got a good point. Your mum loves you. You did one good thing. You did one mitzvah in your life. So most people, they're focusing on what's not good about them. Rabbi Nachman says, focus on the one good thing. Why? Because whatever you focus on, that becomes your experience of reality. If you focus on all the bad things in your life, then you'll have a bad life. If you focus on the good things, even if the bad things outweigh the good things, focus on the good things, that becomes your experience. So whatever you focus on, that's your experience. Focus on the bad in you, then you will feed the bad. You focus on the good in you, you'll feed the good. It will start expanding. And you say, this is really who I am. And the Pintele Yid, the little Yid, is going to become the Gedela, Yid Gedela. It's going to become a big Yid. And also, once you find the Nekuda Tova in yourself, you can find it in everyone else as well. So you as a Jew, you have a mission. Walk around finding the good in everyone all the time. And really, it starts with finding the good in yourself. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, then you need to put other people down. You need to be jealous. You need to judge other people to feel good about yourself. But once you feel good about yourself already, there's nothing stopping you. Just, what's good about this guy? Okay, he messed up, but he's good. He's good. He's trying. He made a mistake. And nekuda tova. So Hashem says, you messed up. Let's find the nekuda tova. Imma amim sheyachol lekalkel ta'amim sheyachol letaken. If you believe that you can mess something up, you have to believe that you can fix things. And not only that, but we're here to fix things. That's the purpose of life. If there was nothing broken, a mechanic would have nothing to do. A mechanic loves broken engines. A mechanic loves broken engines. You bring your broken engine to a mechanic, he's not like, oh no, it's all broken. There's nothing. The mechanic's like, yeah. In fact, the mechanic takes apart engines just so he can put them back together. So if you see the brokenness in your own life and the brokenness in the world and you get all upset, you forgot that you're a mechanic, you idiot. You're here to fix yourself and fix the world. So find that brokenness and fix it like a mensch. You love fixing our brokenness. That's what we're here for. Let's fix it all. So we're going to find it in every night. Kedei letaheh otam mitumas klipas bilam shu b'chagam abris. To purify them from the defilement of Bilam, which was pagam abris, which was this sexual immorality, basically. Because in every single Jewish person there is something good. And there's something good that no one else has. You have your good. And you all have your own challenge. And you all have your own trauma. And your own upbringing. And your own Yetzer Hara. And your own bad character traits. You all got your own stuff. This is what I was saying to someone quite recently. Never compare yourself to anyone else. I was just speaking to someone, one of my students, and he said to me, I have this challenge. And I think my challenge is a little bit harder than other people's challenge. And I said to him, well, firstly, that might be true, might not be true, but what's that got to do with anything? Your challenge is your challenge. What, you want some sympathy? Okay, I'm sorry, yours is harder. But what are you going to do? And by the way, you don't know yours is harder. Maybe his is harder, yours looks harder. So you just stick to your challenge and do your challenge. Fine. Therefore, we had to go out and count every Jew. Kol yotzei tzava. When we count the Jews in the Torah, we say all those who go out to war. So basically from the age of 20 to 60. We're counting the ones going out to war, but what does that obviously mean? Kol hayotzei lilcham milchemes Hashem b'zeh olam. The people who say, I'm here to fight the war of Hashem against the Yetzer Hara. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier in this world. I'm fighting the Yetzer Hara. And not only am I fighting the Yetzer Hara, I'm fighting for Hashem. I'm Pinchas. I am Pinchas. I'm fighting for Hashem. I'm going to do Hashem's battles for him. Because you know what? Hashem's kind of backed off a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that. He's saying, guys, I want you to step up, be the Shekhinah. Be the Shekhinah. When we say you've got to bring the Shekhinah out of exile, that really means you've got to be the Shekhinah. That is, we are. So I'm going to fight Hashem's battle. I'm going to be like, you know what, Hashem? You're all right. I'll take care of this. And Hashem's like, bro. Dov Ber, you're my bro. And then he speaks. He's like, hey, Baal Shem Tov, come and look at this. Dov Ber's mamish fighting my battles for me. And the Baal Shem is like, hey, Rav Moshe Feinstein, come and look at this. And Rav Moshe is like, my bro. There's my bros. I'm going to fight Hashem's battle. In order to arouse and awaken the power of goodness in everyone. That's your job in the world. You better go and see every Jew and look at them in the face and say, this is good about you. Because Rabbi Nachman says that the more you see the good in other people, the more you bring it out of them. They feel good. They're like, oh, wow, thanks. You know, I see this in you. They're like, wow. How many people just go around saying really nice things to people? Very few people. Just go, next time you see someone, go and say, but honestly, not in a weird, just honestly say, you know what, I noticed you helped that person, and I thought, I was really impressed with that. We took my son to his Kita Aleph meeting, and he's got a friend from his Mechina, it's before grade 1, called Noam. He's a nice guy. And we got there a little bit late, and Noam saw him, 6 years old, these boys. Noam says, Shimshon, yesh makom po. My son Shimshon, he said, Shimshon, there's a seat next to me. And then, before we had arrived, they each received a little sharshelet, a chain, well, a little welcome to Kita Aleph thing. And Noam, this little 6-year-old, said to the teacher, he said, Shimshon lo kibel. Shimshon didn't receive one. I went up to Noam's mum and I said, Noam's a good friend. Noam's a good friend. How many 6-year-olds, he hadn't met the teacher before, how many 6-year-olds would be like, Shimshon? Most 6-year-olds would say, Shimshon, I got one, you didn't get one. Noam, Sharvit, should be blessed. He was like, so I always say to my children and my students, how many really good friends do you actually have? How many really good friends do you actually have who really care about you and will put themselves out for you? But then I say something more important. To how many people are you really a good friend? How many people would say, you're my good friend? So forget about how many friends you have. How many people would, if I said, do you have a really good friend? They'd say, yes, he's my really good friend. I know he'll be there. You want to be there for other people. So basically, then he goes through all the names. So there's the Hanoch family, and Hashem adds 2 letters. Hanochi. There's a Hey at the beginning and a Yud at the end, which is obviously Hashem's name. So Hashem basically added his name to the names of the Jewish people. Shmi me'id aleihem al tikkun bris, because I witness, and I will be a witness for them, for they are fixing the bris. Ki hey barosh, the hey is at the beginning of the word, yud basaf, the yud is at the end of the word. Hainu she'al yedei haskaras shmaitam gadeshim nisaira nekuda tova. By remembering their holy names, bringing Hashem into the picture, arouses that nekuda tova. Sheyesh be'em b'chol echad ve'echad shu b'chein shma yisparach. So that nekuda tova within you is your little bit of spark of Hashem in you. That's what a pinta yid. That is your. I have a spark of Hashem. Chelek elokam imam mamish. So you added Hashem's name to our names to remind us that that's who we are. We are Hashem's kids. Because that's what the nekuda tova is. That part of you that is just a piece of Hashem. Which is the aspect of Hashem's name. What's the difference between Hashem and Hashem's name? What's the difference between Hashem and his name? Very simple. If you lived on a desert island, would you need a name? No. A name is relationship. How you can connect to someone. So Hashem's essence is kind of almost above. But Hashem, we want to bring Hashem's name into the world means recognition and relationship and palpable feeling of Hashem, which is Shekhinah. And that's our job, by the way, to be that Shekhinah. So that piece of Hashem that we're bringing, our piece of Hashem into the world, is bringing Hashem's name into the world. Is there won't be such a big separation. Hashem's name will be, and everyone will accept Hashem upon them, and it will be palpably available. So it means that every single time we were coming out of, it really means mundane to holy, but messing up to fixing, menuam, counted them. When we left the defilement of Egypt, he counted us. When we did the sin of the golden calf, Hashem counted us. And then we had to build the Mishkan to fix the Chet HaEgel. We're saying every time in the Torah that we do a crazy mistake, Hashem counts us. So the simple meaning, he counts us to see how many people are still around. But Rabbi Nachman is saying the opposite. He's saying he counts us to just lift us up again and say, you still count. Don't think you don't count. I'm going to awaken within you, arouse within you that piece that was never defiled in the first place. Because your pinta yid cannot be defiled. You can't mess up your neshama. Neshamas are perfect and pure. Because the counting is to arouse and awaken and nekuda tova to wake up that within us and say you still count. Hashem, you need to walk around the world being extremely humble, but just realizing that you're the greatest thing on the face of the planet. In a very humble way there. You've got to be like, I am a soldier in Hashem's army. I'm Hashem's boy. Basically, that's it. I am Hashem's boy, and I'm not even here for me though. The healthier and happier and kinder and more connected I am, the more I can fight Hashem's war for him. That's our purpose. That's Pinchas. I love Pinchas. Should all be zeichet to be able to makayim this besimcha and consciousness.